Hello, hello, hello. This is Joe Sonona from Sonona Speaks Seminars, and my guest this week on Coffee Talk is Jose Padro. Did I say that right, Jose?
Yes, you did.
How are you? Welcome
Good,
to the
good. How's
show.
everything,
We
Joe?
had a little technical difficulty just now, but we got it going on. How's everything going?
Good, good. Um, Glad to be back as far as back in business, especially with everything going on with COVID. Hope all is well with you and the family.
Everything is good on my end, and I hope the same for you as well, my friend.
Yes, definitely.
Um, this is a special guest of mine because recently Jose won a special award that we're going to talk about throughout this program. But first, let me ask you, how did you get started in real estate? How long have you been in real estate?
So I've been in real estate literal about 5 years. So I got into real estate because I always had, I would say, an interest in real estate, knowing what the price were as far as the housing market, and I always wanted to get into the investment side of the real estate. And so like just going through the internet, just checking everything, and me myself, I was in the market to purchase a property. So I thought it would be best, like, hey, you know what, let me get my real estate license. And word of mouth started going around that I had my real estate license by friends and family, and just the support system. I think just closing my first deal with one of my friends, my very close friend, I think there's nothing more exciting than being part of the process for a family on their biggest purchase, and being a part of that. And then always getting invited to the barbecues is always fun, I would say.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, that's always, honestly, that's like always my disclaimer. I always tell them, listen, I'm gonna help you out, I'm gonna go above and beyond, but I want to be invited to the first barbecue. And it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, uh, this show is all about listings and about bringing on listing pros in real estate. So, my first question for you, or actually another question for you, is um, what is your secret sauce that you use when you go to get a listing?
So I mean, there, it really isn't any secret.
Everybody frowns. They're like, ah, what's
Yeah,
that
I
secret
mean,
sauce?
there, honestly, it really isn't a secret. It's just more of building a rapport, building relationships. I'm a big believer of building relationships first, and just assisting and being a helpful friend. I think if you go in there just trying to get a deal and just trying to sell, a lot of clients can see right through that. But if you're
True.
there being as far as more of a confidant, hey, just assisting them with the process, and even if they hire you or not, I think they appreciate that, and it goes a long way. There's been times that, it happens to everybody. There's been times I lost listings, but I had agents that were hired in front of me and they couldn't get the job done, and they came back to me and I was able to sell it. So always building that relationship and building that rapport. And I really believe, like, consistency is key. Just always following up.
That's awesome. That's all. And do you use any special technology to market your listings?
So I Instagram. I think most of my business is all through Instagram. I do a lot of advertising, a lot of promotions through Instagram, and you'll be surprised how, like, people reaching out to me as far as through Instagram. Hey, you assisted as far as my cousin, my friend, or my parents, and that's how most of my listings come come across as far as me listing the property. And
I
it's
think
all,
that's how we met, you and I. And
yes, we
right,
did.
we developed a relationship through Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Do you boost your or do you pay for sponsored ads on Instagram?
Yes. So I do boost a lot of my listings, or if I get on something on the contract, especially my reviews. and there's a way to boost it specifically to areas by using hashtags or just tagging the location. So if anybody is within that vicinity or the radius, they can see that.
Now, where did you learn how to do all this? Because I'm sure our audience of realtors, want to know, because it probably wasn't easy in the beginning to do that, right?
Oh no, not at all. And I think YouTube is always the most useful tool. You'll be surprised. You can find everything in YouTube, and they show you how to do things. And there's a lot of tutorials. I know Liborg does a lot of them. My company, Signature Premier, they have awesome training classes, and they know how to really develop new agents
Awesome.
in doing that.
And so you use Instagram, and do you do any type of staging, or do you do any type of consulting with these sellers when you go to list a property?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I always take the first day when I get the property listed. I always take them step by step how the process is gonna go. I some of them you got to hold their hand and let them know, okay, this is what we're gonna do initially. This is what you want to do to get your house prepared. So this way it looks a little bit more attractive to potential buyers that are coming to your house.
True.
And so there's so many steps that you want to take and you want to guide them through. And as far as I built a lot of relationships being in the business for so long, so I always have like stagers. I always have friends that help me out marketing with drones. Like if you look at my profile and it's business as usual with just one S. And so basically, I have a YouTube channel, and in my Instagram, I basically marketed a lot of properties, especially waterfront, with drone videos. And I
Is
feel
that
like,
your specialty, Jose?
no, me myself, I'm trying to coordinate a whole team right now in Nassau and Suffolk County. So I go where the business takes me, basically. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
That's good. That's good. So your niche is any type of property. It's not just any waterfront or luxury, or it's just any type of property. And then you put that out on Instagram immediately, or do you have some sort of preparation? Like right now, we're in this COVID-19,
Yeah.
post COVID-19,
Yeah.
and so talk about the safety measures that you're starting to use and develop with listings.
So, well, now with everything that's happening in COVID, and there's so many things and guidelines that we gotta follow. So I mean, you have as far as the COVID-19 disclosure that we have to get signed.
Gloves, masks,
Yeah,
Purell, booties,
the
shields,
yep,
bubbles.
everything. I mean, and that's just protecting yourself and also getting everything signed, the fair housing
Right.
disclosure, the COVID disclosure, your agency. So I mean, that's
I, I,
just
I
signing.
started to put a file together for the preliminary, and it was
Yeah.
about this thick
Yeah, it's
already.
just
And
amazing.
I
Like,
couldn't believe it because it used to be this paper thin. And now, ever since I got into the business, the papers have gone up. You can kill a tree with all the
yeah,
papers.
it's so true. And it's amazing. Like I just went to Amazon and I shopped through Amazon and I have like a care package because I have two cars. So I have hand sanitizer, mask,
Yeah.
gloves, and it's things that you have to be prepared as a professional. So this way you can protect your clients
Yeah.
and as far as yourself. Because,
Have you listed a home in post COVID-19 after, or post quarantine, I should say? Have you listed houses after?
yes. So there's one particular listing right now that I just put on the market. It's in Freeport. And basically like the market right now, I thought it was gonna be like at a standstill. Nobody's gonna like purchase homes or anything like that. But the market is, I think, hot right now. It's just unbelievable. And I'll give you an example. Like I just put this property like 2 days ago. and my phone has not stopped ringing, and it's continuing. I'm like looking at my phone from the side, and I see it like blinking, 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 and it's like nonstop. So I put the house on the market 2 days ago. I had about 30 appointments 2 days ago. Yesterday I had about another 30 to 40 appointments, and it's just it's crazy. Everybody's just trying to snatch up anything and everything that's out there to lock in their interest rates.
Well, it's a good time certainly to buy. Where's your market?
So my market, so I'm like all over Nassau and Suffolk
I know you're
County.
in New York
Yeah,
State.
so just New York. When it goes to Brooklyn and Queens, that's where I'm just like, nah, I can't go over there. It's too far. I refer it out.
And do you have like any other techniques that you use, like drone wise? Any other marketing techniques besides the Instagram?
Um, just basically like what I like to do, especially with the listings. I like to just like I'm a foodie. Me and my wife, we go out everywhere, and I think for the most part, it gives us a time to really know the area. And when I tell you we go everywhere, like if you look at my posts, I'm just posting as far as food, and me and my wife, we like to go out and venture out to different neighborhoods, different things, and I think just being relatable to as far as the clients, they appreciate that because you know as far as their neighborhood. And the marketing piece, I just feel like when you know their specific neighborhood, they appreciate that.
That's
Um,
good.
so I mean, with Facebook and Instagram and with YouTube and videos, for the most part, I think that in itself, that's all I really market as far as with my
So,
home.
so you've been in the business 5 years, and you're what we call, now a little, you have experience now in the market, but it wasn't always that way. And
No.
so, anybody who's looking at these coffee talks, and especially someone new to the business, to the industry, what would be your best advice to a newbie?
So my best advice to a newbie is just your database, your friends, your anybody you have on your cell phone. Like a lot of people like being when we were quarantined. In my office, we have like this thing called a Babylon Mastermind, and we always like had Zoom calls and we talked to one another. And I feel like if you surround yourself with like-minded people and you want to achieve a certain goal, I think anything is possible. So basically, like for a newbie, is calling everybody from your sphere of influence. Your
Hmm.
cell phone, start with there. I feel like a lot of people are lost. They don't know how to get started. Hey, just plant that seed to your friends and family. You're in real estate. Because if you don't communicate that you're in real estate, nobody's gonna know. So that's how I got started. I literally called everybody. Like if you'll be surprised if you check your cell phone, how many people you have saved in your database. Like when I first checked, it was like over 500, 600 people. And I just called them up. And you'll be surprised how your business it just starts building up just by that. And I believe like just planting the seed, just your friends and family, and you'll be surprised at the support that you'll get.
What is most beneficial for a new agent to accomplish in their first year? What should they be like? When after my first year, I turned around, I looked at my 1099, I got depressed, because I didn't make that much money. But what do you think at the end of the year, a first year in real estate? What does that look like for a first year agent?
I feel like the first year agent, it's a learning curve. You gotta have patience. Not everything is gonna happen all at once. It's a business. You have to build the foundation, and
No
I
pun intended.
I just feel like I remember when I got my real estate license, and I wish I knew the name of the instructor, but what he said was the most powerful thing ever. And it got me thinking because he said
What
the
did I
turnover.
say back then? What did I say 5 years ago? No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. I had to go there. I had to go there. Go ahead.
And he told me, like, he counted, I believe, like about 90 students. And I remember him telling us out of the 90 students, he said 80 of them was going to quit on their first year.
That's very encouraging. Go ahead.
I know.
I
That's,
know
you
I
know,
didn't say that.
no. And then he goes, 10 of you guys are going to last like about 3 years, but he said only three of you are going to make a career out of this.
Oh my goodness. I
And I
would have
was
sat
like,
there. I would have probably crapped in my pants at
you
that
know,
point.
amazing enough, I saw people like not return back to the class the next day.
Wow.
But it one thing I will tell you, and it's so true, like a lot of new agents, especially if this is their full-time career, that and I only go by my experience. I remember my first year, I only closed one deal, and I remember getting that paycheck, $3,500. But you're building a business, and if people and the average years of a business to be successful is that 3 to 5 year mark. And if
Yeah.
people understand that and just be patient and learn your craft,
Yeah.
build your database, everything will fall into
And
place.
be a good listener. I think you have to be a good listener. You have to put a lot of education under your belt in your
Mm-hmm.
first year. And I think you could either hit it with one rental on your first week in real estate,
Yeah,
and you could have nothing for the next couple of months.
yeah,
But be patient. You're right, is to have patience. That I went through my first year in real estate with 6 months of doing absolutely no deals, nothing whatsoever. And then I started to go door to door, and I started to solicit, for listings that way. And I built, like you say, relationships. And that was my database because I had nothing and there was no such thing as a cell phone.
yeah.
So
Oh,
I
yeah.
was pretty, but now, today's new agent has a lot of advantages with social media, with
Yep.
cell phones. Everything is at our fingertips.
Yep.
So,
Exactly.
what would be your advice? And I know you've actually, I know everybody does this. They look at the people that have already been in business. So I know people are looking at you now at 5 years. They're looking at me at 30 years. But what would be your advice to someone older in the business?
Um, Older, I feel like, especially now with the market being so competitive, and knock on wood, I had a couple of deals go on the contract in the prior weeks, and it's the networking aspect, the relationships that you've built, going out there, networking in different groups, being part of different groups. I think that's helped me get deals done because of the relationships that I've built with attorneys, with loan officers, with other realtors, because they know, like, your reputation, that you're not going to waste their time and your time bringing a potential client to whatever, as far as selling a property or buying a property. They know you have qualified, quality buyers or sellers.
Interesting, interesting. So shifting gears now, I want to put some accolades on you. I think the Long Island Board of Realtors recently has awarded you with the YPN, which is Young Professionals Network, a very high honor of being in the top 20 under 40. And that's an amazing achievement. There have been a lot of YPN spokespeople here on the show. We had your YPN past president Beth Lowe
Yeah.
on this program, and we've had now a couple of new recipients. And then you're the latest recipient for 2020. How does that make you feel?
Um, Honestly, I'm stoked about it. I'm like really happy
You
about it.
should be.
So I mean, like, it was like I told you before, it was kind of like mixed, because when I told my kids, "Hey, I won top 20 under 40," they told me, "Wow, Dad, you're old." So I was like, "Oh, okay." I felt good about myself a little bit, but then I was like, And but no, I really appreciate it, and I couldn't have done it without my friends and family, my past clients, and first and foremost my wife, because she's a big supporter of my business, and she's I would say my motivational speaker day in and day
Nice,
out, because you
very
always need that.
nice. Well, yeah, we have good women in our lives, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, getting back now, I know YPN has a criteria, and do you feel that it was measured, your winning, on that the fact that you are a good lister or a good seller or both, or do you think that because you found your niche in real estate, you know, do you think that's how they judged you?
So I feel like my business have grown substantially, and I would say through listings as well. Like Freeport, like it's amazing because my business is all through word of mouth, and just this last 6 months, I've had like 4 listings in Freeport alone, and I live in Lindenhurst, in the village of Lindenhurst, and my office is in Babylon, but when you do the right thing by people, they're
Sure,
always going to refer you, and you take wherever it is that they want you to assist. So, I mean,
absolutely.
for right now, I'm in Freeport, and I had listings in Plainview, Lindenhurst. I mean, Patchogue. I take it for where it is, and
Listen,
I'll
you're
go.
getting closer and closer to my
Yeah,
market, so you're welcome to work with me. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. No, I'm not. Yes, I am.
yeah,
Anyway, so let's get to the embodiment of our business, which is law of agency and the fiduciary duties of trust with a
yeah.
consumer, uh, old car, as I call it, obedience, loyalty, disclosure, confidentiality, accountability, and reasonable care. Which one, if you had to pick, I know they're all important, but which one, if you had to pick, is the your most favorite and why?
I believe it's the fiduciary responsibility that you have with your clients, because they're
So
disclosing.
reasonable care,
So
loyalty, disclosure, which one of those?
I feel like I feel like the reasonable care. Let's go with reasonable care, because it's very nerve wracking for them, for anybody either selling or buying, and I think just going above and beyond for them and holding their hand, and like you said, listening. It's the number one thing I feel like in every transaction, because they themselves will let you know what their biggest concern is.
It
And
is,
if
and they will, right?
Yep.
But how do you apply reasonable care in your listings? Can you highlight something there?
So obviously they're gonna disclose a lot of things, and when you're having that conversation, and if you take that into consideration and knowing what your job responsibility and how you're representing as far as the homeowner, and you're giving them the utmost respect, knowing, and they feel comfortable with you, and they know that they really believe that you're not going to go and discuss anything that you've had as far as that interaction and
Yeah.
building that relationship. I think that goes a long way, and I feel like they know you're going to go above and beyond for them and net them the most money as possible.
Has it always been easy for you as a real estate agent to list properties, or have you ever come across, and these are my new questions for my guests, so you
Yeah.
get the inauguration of the new questions. Has it always been easy, or tell me about your times, where you felt like giving up or sticking in there, like what did you say to yourself to really stay in the game of being in your profession?
So I feel like, okay, so when you start in the business, when I started in the business, I've had a lot of buyers. Most of my transactions was all buyers, and like I would say in like my third or fourth year started shifting as far as listings, and it's not. I feel like my thing is I watch a lot of motivational, inspirational YouTube videos, $1 million listing. I feel like when I see those guys and they make it look so easy, it just gets me hyped up.
It's not easy. It's
No,
not.
it's
Listen, the
definitely not.
reality of reality TV is that that's not reality, right?
Yeah,
You
no,
know
definitely
that.
not.
Who is your
So
favorite motivational speaker?
So I like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tony Robbins, even Ryan Serhant. I see him in $1 Million Listing. I read his book. I just listening to them and just reiterating as far as what their obstacles were and how they were able to overcome their obstacles. And I just feel like
Did
it's
you
very.
have any obstacles?
Oh
In this
yeah,
business, or was it always
absolutely
easy?
every
Was it
day.
easy? Did you jump over those obstacles?
Yeah, every
Tell me,
day.
tell me a little bit as we're wrapping up. What was the biggest obstacle that you've encountered so far as a lister?
So I think my biggest obstacle is time management.
Mm.
I think time management is one of those things that you need to really, really sit down and plan out your day. If you don't plan out your day and you write down everything that's happening, especially when you have listings and you're coordinating as far as appointments and things like that, I feel like you can definitely be in a world of hurt if you don't manage your time properly, and you got to weed out the people that are wasting your time and the people that are like I would say valuing your time.
Right. And what do you do with the people that are wasting your time? Do you just get back to them? Do you
Yeah,
follow up with them? Of course.
yeah, you never dismiss them because you never know who they know.
Right.
There's been there, you never know who they know. There's been times that I've encountered people that I felt like they weren't ready, but then they come back around and they
Mhm.
purchase later on in the future. But
I've
that,
always told that. I've always said that to
yeah,
agents out there. You just never know who knows
yep,
who.
yep,
And when somebody asks you about the market and how is the market, how is real
yeah,
estate, they're actually interviewing you because they want to know that they can refer you to someone else.
yep,
And when they make that referral, they could say, "Hey, go with Jose. He knows that
yep.
market very well, and it's fresh in their head." But if you answer them, "I don't know anything about the
Yeah,
market,"
exactly. Yeah. And
they're not
that
going to
though
recommend you.
and that's as far as especially when new agents, that's especially with me. I remember when I still get that question, how is the market? I always have time to answer that because it's like you said, they're interviewing you and they want to see how much you know.
Yeah.
And that's a great startup conversation because they, especially now, everything is just, I don't know about you, but it's just like insane out there.
I think I've lost a couple of more hair strands in this COVID-19 environment. But
Yeah.
um, listen, we are almost out of time. Is there anything you want to give as last minute advice or last minute anything that you want to say?
No, I just want to thank you for this opportunity. I really enjoy this. We met through Instagram. The only word of advice I have for all new agents: make sure your profile matches straight across the board because
That's
you'll
you don't
be
want to put your high school prom picture there
yeah,
or something.
exactly. So, I mean, I always tell them, listen, have your profile, your Zillow, your Realtor.com, your Instagram,
Right.
Facebook, all aligned because you'll be surprised that your clients, that's going to be the first thing they look at. And your reviews, get your reviews when you do something great for.
Well, you have the biggest review today, and that is you're on Coffee Talk, and it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you, my friend.
To have one of the recipients of YPN is an honor for me because it shows that you've accomplished and achieved a really high level of achievement in the Long Island Board of Realtors to be recognized by your local board on a national level. YPN exists, and that's not a small little feat. There, you really have come to a big challenge and have overcome that challenge to be recognized by your peers. And I know how difficult that was to get. So you just keep doing what you're doing with your special
Thank
sauce, Jose. And
thank
thank
you.
you for being on my show today. It's truly an honor to have you here, and an even better honor to get to know you in the future and do deals together.
Absolutely, absolutely. Maybe we'll open one of these wine bottles that I have behind me.
Oh,
I'll
I
invite
see
you
it there
over.
too. I see him. Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you very much for being on the show today. This is Joe Sonona with Coffee Talk, Sonona Speaks Seminars. And my guest this week was Jose Padro from Signature Premier Properties. Did I get that right? There you
Yes.
go. So thank you again for being on, and look forward to seeing you real soon.
You too. Take care.